Hi there. This is Marie. I'm an author. Welcome to my channel. Doing a little bit of walking here as I'm running an errand on my lunchtime and wanted to chat a little bit during my walking time here. Try to do my errand during the daytime because, as you know, with daylight savings time, it's a challenge in the evening, especially if you don't have a means of automobile transportation. And if you're able to walk, then great, walk. That's an important thing here. And that's what I'm doing right now. It's a beautiful day. I love the fact that it's fall in Florida. For South Florida, it is cool mornings, cool evenings, and cool mornings. And then there's a brief warm up in the afternoon. And that's what I love because it cuts down on my air conditioning and I'm able to open the windows, at least until I go to sleep at night, which is super nice. And you don't get that much down here because, as you're hearing a little bit in the background, not sure how much of a background noise is going to be, you have air conditioners that are going. It is getting rather warm right now, being in the afternoon. So here we are. Now, I would typically do this type of errand, I would say in the evenings, but because of daylight savings time, that becomes more of a challenge because it gets darker earlier. Whereas if we kept do daylight savings time, then our sunset would be really late, which is fine with me. But I'm not a big fan of the hour, going an hour backwards. I hope they eventually get rid of that, but we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, so here I am doing my walking and talking, rambling thoughts in my head, of course, working on many things, because still in that kind of reset period. But I have had bursts of creativity, which is super nice because having bursts of creativity and it's little breadcrumbs, and I will take the breadcrumbs gladly, because it does help with the process. I am working on trying to get a system back in place for me, because the challenges with the systems is the fact that I'll have a system in place, and my whole thing with systems is it's either full speed ahead, no adjustments to be made, and what that typically happens is that something happens where an adjustment needs to be made and throws everything off, and I'm starting at ground zero again. So I'm trying to work on that. And it is challenge. I'm up for the challenge. And we will see. All right, part 2 is coming up. So bear with me. Right now, I'm going to focus on crossing this busy street. Okay, part 2. I'm back. Thankfully, that was pretty smooth. Getting what I need to get done. Because you never know what's up when you're trying to get your errand done. And of course, there is challenges, which could be for the system. It's lunchtime. Uh, they sell food at this place, and it could be very busy with all the local businesses needing their lunch, their meals. But anyway, I'm here heading back. So, getting back to my current life right now, talk about systems, work to try to get some systems in place so I can get myself back in the writing mode. I have bursts of creativity that do happen, and I do my best to take advantage of that moments. So for me, that would be productive. The tricky part, of course, is keeping those systems in place because I think working through a little bit of past trauma from what I've dealt with over the years of me not being more firm about my boundaries and allowing people who, of course, bring themselves into their lives, try to make it a point to point out that my time and my effort is not respected. And before the COVID pandemic, I worked in a office environment where it was open cubicles, and no matter what I would do sometimes to try to focus on providing support, getting work done. Oh, hello there. One of the dogs here, thankfully, is behind a fence here as I'm walking. No matter what I would do to try to do my job, give the best performance I can possibly give, it was others who just sometimes seem like they don't think that my systems was enough. But anyway, in many ways, I have to find that balance, and slowly but surely, I'm finding that balance. I had moments over the years where I'm fully focused on the writing and being more creative in that sense. But sometimes it is a challenge. When I first wrote the other novels, I had that focus more at night than during the day. But then that became a challenge because of circumstances outside of my control. And it took the focus away, which is a shame. So that's something I'm working on. And one of the things that I've restarted, that I started to do, then I stopped for a while, is like a weekend like to-do list, and I will pack that list full of stuff and in an effort to try to get as much personal stuff done. And believe it or not, it has been a success, at least this week. On the list for this week is getting at least 2 hours of writing done. Of course, I have other things I have to do as well and work my way into that. It's like a habit or a muscle. I think someone referenced one time, and the muscle needs to be worked. It's like your exercise, and you haven't done an exercise in a long time, and your body is sore. And that's what I have to think of my writing as. So that's a process, to say the least. Okay, well, this is me back home. I have to go in, get something to eat, and get myself reset for the day. That's another thing, the writing is more part-time, as I do have a full-time job, and I try to be respectful of that, separating that from my part-time gig, per se, and because my brain and focus has to be on that full-time job. But anyway, thank you for walking with me. Sorry about the background noise. See how much of the audio mixing will accomplish to eliminate as much noise as possible in the background. Best way to support me is by purchasing one of my novels, and I'll have the links below. They're available on Amazon and Google Play. Also, if you haven't done so already, subscribing to my channel, trying to do better with the content, bringing more personalized stuff coming up, and stuff related to my books. And again, all about getting those systems in place and commenting on, below. Let me know you're around. And thank you so much. And take care. Stay tuned. See you soon.